All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to do a drivability test and drive on the swap, the 6L80 swap. Now, I'll let you guys know right now, I am still having an issue. Not sure 100% what it is. Not sure if it's the techm programming. Not sure if it's a converter. Not sure if there's something wrong with the transmission. But just a little recap. Did a 2014 6L80 swap and swapped the techm to a 2007-2008 model techm. And yeah, so disregard all the lights coming on. I know the ABS, and then it says engine oil low. It's because I don't have, once I did the swap to the 6.2, I do not have the sensor that goes to the pan, or the pan doesn't have the actual threaded hole for the sensor, so obviously it's unplugged, and that's what you're gonna see coming on. Now the ABS stuff is because my sensors in the back are all cut. Ever since I lowered the truck, I never replaced them, so that's why all that's on. The ABS, traction control, and then the tire pressure sensors I do not have programmed yet. And ever since I switched out to these stocks. But anyhow, it's cold right now. The trans temp right now it's at 82, and going up, climbing up slowly. Now 84, 82, 84. Anyways, I'm gonna go on a drive here and show you the shifting and how it's functioning. Obviously, I still have my original cluster where it's park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, 1. Eventually, one day I will switch over to the 6-speed cluster where it's park, reverse, neutral, drive, and M as manual mode. Also, I do not have the manual mode or shifter selector in place. I still have to figure out something about that. To swap is very simple, but to actually make the manual mode work, I have to do a little more research. There is a couple things out there about it, but then I also would have to go into the techm and make some changes to make it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue the video here once I'm gonna take off. All right, now so I let it warm up a little bit, get a little more temperature in trans, and I'm just gonna take off normal. Hopefully I don't act up, as what I'm saying, as far as the issue that I have, that I'm still trying to figure out. Now it's not throwing any codes whatsoever. Now the only thing is, when I did have the 2014 techm that belonged to this transmission originally, it was throwing a code saying, I think it was 2 codes, I can't remember the actual code numbers, but it was no communication and lost communication with TCM. So that's why I had to change the techm to the year closer to my truck. My truck's a 07. A transmission in it's out of a 2014 Silverado. And yeah, so I ended up, like I said, swapping over to a 2007-2008 techm in order to make it work. As soon as I actually swapped that out, plugged everything back in, put the filter on, pan, fluid, I had all gears, reverse and everything. Before I did that swap of the techm, even though it was not communicating with the TCM, I still had a second gear, I believe it was, and reverse, as I mentioned, I believe, in another video. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take off here now. It is in drive now, so noticed there's a little bit of flare going on between gears. I think it was mostly 2-3, 3-4 shift, and my tuner actually adjusted the pressures and whatnot, and it's a little better. Once it's at a good temperature, it goes away. The only other thing too is what I'm experiencing is the 3-4 shift. Like if I get on it, if I'm driving normal and then I try to get on it a little bit, it tends to slip. That's what it seems like, but it still keeps on moving. And I'm not throwing no codes. The transmission fluid is, nice and clean. It's not low. I actually added an extra quart to it, so maybe to see if that would have been part of the issue. And unfortunately, no, it's not. Not 100% sure what it is, what's going on with it, but I do have a backup transmission at home, and I'm gonna start narrowing down thing by thing, unfortunately, but we got to get it right one way or another. But other than that, other than those little issues, this drives fine. So I'm going to come to the complete stop here. Then I'm going to stall it up and try to take off. Well, it's going to be wide open throttle. Throttle, I have no issues whatsoever. Obviously you can see it spins from the get-go, but I don't have that issue where it tends to want to slip. That's what I'm calling it. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it is, because that's kind of what it feels like. But then it's to a point where just trying to figure out what it is, what to call it, or anything like that. So hopefully, if any of you think that what it possibly could be, message me or comment below. I'm open to suggestions and anything. A lot of people out there might know more about these transmissions than I do, and yeah, so. Speedometer is off a bit. I think it's off by 5. I'm actually going faster than what it says, 5 miles faster, so I know that is off by 5. Not sure exactly why, but it's off. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just try to do like a 30 roll or so. At least that's what it says on the gauge, and then gun it. Fourth gear that it does it, and every other gear it's fine, it don't do it. I'm actually surprised it did it right now, because it hadn't done it at wide open throttle. But then towards the end, I'm gonna add another little clip of it doing it, acting up. It did it yesterday actually to me, and it was going just the regular, like probably just getting on it a little bit, like slightly, and it acted up. But see, like right now it's normal, it's not acting up, it's not shifting fine, so it's kind of hard to tell what it is, you know. I'm not 100% sure, but I wanted to go ahead and do a update video because I haven't uploaded anything regarding the swap. Like I said, I just had put it back together, and I wasn't quite ready to post anything on it, you know. So I've been trying to figure out the issue that I'm having with it, because, you know, eventually I'm gonna supercharge the truck, and having that issue, obviously it's not going to be a good thing. It drives pretty good actually, but this is just that little slippage that you guys seen on there is what I'm trying to figure out still. As a matter of fact, I actually ran my wife's car, which is the SS. I had posted up a while back, and I raced it I think a weekend ago, and this thing kept up with it pretty good, and you know, I was shifting through all the gears and everything, so I'll probably add those little clips here towards the end. So I mean, the hottest this thing has gotten that I've seen was like 150, 155 max. Has not passed that. So that's the drivability of it. Like I said, I still have an issue, as you guys can tell. And like I said, I'm going to post another, or add a little clip at the end of the video of what it did to me the other day, and the same issue. It's exactly the same thing I'm trying to figure out. But other than that, I mean, the swap was pretty much straightforward. Besides the techm issue, obviously, I try to find information out there, and a lot of people were saying, like I said in the other video, you can't switch it, it won't work, this transmission won't work with that. Well, it does, because I did it, so it's working. I don't know if that would have to do something with the issue that I'm having, but like I said, I'm not even having no codes or anything, so it's kind of hard to try to diagnose what it is. But I'll keep working at it, and I'll keep you guys posted. And like I said, if anybody out there might know what the issue is, or somebody else had this same issue, comment below, let me know. I'm just trying to figure this out, because I just ordered probably mostly to all the parts that I needed to add the LSA to it. And yeah, so super excited about that, but can't get too excited when I can't fix that issue just yet. So like I said, I'll add the other clip towards the end, and probably the 2 little pulls I did with my wife's car. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. you.